Welcome back to the Cobra Cast and the Coach Wick Show. Thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
We'll just get started off with the first question. How did you feel about the focus and energy going into last week's game against Pleasant Ridge?
You know, I felt like the boys were locked in. I thought we had a good week of practice. We got better each and every day, and there on Friday night, we were able to showcase that we have gotten a lot better during the course of the year. We scored quite a few points before halftime, and, defense even scored. We had 2 pick sixes on the night, so that's always good when, other people besides the offense score. And we were able to use time management a little bit there at the end of the second quarter and call some timeouts and game time situations and get the ball back and score right before half. So that's something we got to continue to work on, too, with the 2-minute drill. But overall, we were pleased with the way we executed, and the JV got to go in there in the fourth quarter and finish out for us. We do need to do a little bit better on the JV part of, defensively. There's been a couple games during the course of the year where the varsity will pitch a shutout and then the JV will come in and give up a score late. And I know it's hard for them coming in and playing against the varsity offense, but we are good on JV, and they need to showcase that, and they need to be ready to play on Friday nights as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So for our second question, that kind of brings it into it. How was the team's offensive execution during the game last Friday? And was there anything you think the team could have changed?
No, I wouldn't change anything offensively. We ran 19 total plays on the night, had over 450 yards of offense, and scored 8 touchdowns. So whenever you can score 6 touchdowns in 19 plays, because 2 of those were pick sixes, I think our offense was executing very, very well. Drake was 12 of 13 passing for 3 touchdowns, was very, very efficient rushing the football. We were very, very efficient when we had to be. I feel like we could have ran it a little bit more, but we were trying to work on our passing game a little bit to get that ready to go by the end of the year. But offensively, we were good. We were good Friday offensively, but there's always, things to do better. Wide receivers running the proper route, using the angles, blocking and sustaining blocks. There's always something you can learn on film, and there's always something you can get better at. So that's definitely something we're harping to the kids.
All righty. And for our third question, what are you expecting from Onega this Friday?
Onega is a physical football team. They're not the biggest football team that we've played this year, but they're probably the most physical football team we've played this year. Their tackles are only sitting at like 135 weight-wise, but they get off the ball low and they block till the echo of the whistle. They run an offense that's a power eye, almost wishbone type of offense that they try to get 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust, keep the clock rolling, and then try to eat out first downs. The 3 and 1 is a first down, so that's definitely what they're trying to do. So we have to stop the run this week. I think they play a little bit of man-to-man defensively, so you might see a lot more passing this week with our switch concepts and our underneath routes, just because they play man-to-man, and I feel like man-to-man defense at the high school level is very, very hard to teach and very, very hard to do. So that's something we'll be working on this week. And offensively, on the offensive line, we'll just keep working on our progression in the run game, and we'll go from there. But hopefully we can just come out and execute this Friday against Onega.
All righty. And without having school this Friday, do you think the team will have the same focus they normally would with a normal full school day?
Yeah, it's always in the back of your head as a coach. Like if you don't have school, the routine. I'm really, really big on routine. From practices to games to Fridays, I like a set routine, and I know exactly what I'm going to do each part of the day. So I think these kids are smart enough where they're not going to go out and screw around and do that kind of stuff during a Friday, and we'll still go for breakfast on Friday mornings. And then even some of the guys were talking about going golfing. So that's something that would be fun. I think they even said they might go to Onega and golf. So that might be a little bit different. So that's a little inside scoop to the football team, what we're doing on Friday. But no, I feel like they'll be focused up. They know when to be focused, when it's time to lock in, and when it's time to go out and have fun with your friends and be a kid. So we'll be focused up, ready to go on Friday. It's going to be a great night. We got little cheer camp here on Friday, and we also have players from Coach Henry football classes, everybody that can come here and get recognized that was on his teams during the course of his career. So that's something to celebrate as well. So hopefully we can go out there and put on a show on Friday.
Absolutely. I'd love to see that show. All right. And for our final question, we're going to have a little fun one. How would you compare your high school football team to Jackson Heights now Is there similarities, differences?
That is a very, very tough question that I've never been asked before. I'm a diehard Smith Center Redmond, if everybody knows, and that's a great question because us, Jackson Heights is spread, throw the football around the yard, run it too. Smith Center was ground and pound, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, maybe break one here or there, but I think I'm gonna have to give the edge to my team as a senior. We went 10-2 and we lost to Heston in the sectional round of the playoffs at home, and we lost to Norton that year too, 10-8. So we finished the year 10-2, and we lost in sectionals, like I said, at home against Heston. But I gotta give the nod to myself and our team. I was the quarterback for it. I did play defense as well, a defensive back, and we would have problems stopping Drake. We'd have problems stopping Austin. We would have problems with Coach Plattner and Coach Nalges coaching against us, but I feel like we were pretty good there my senior year at Smith Center, so I'm going to have to give the nod to us, but it'd be a close game.
Talk about stopping our players. Was there a big difference in player size and whatnot?
So when I was going through school, we were 3A. So we were a 3A school. We played the likes of Heston. Conway Springs was 3A, 2A back at that time. We had some other big time, Wichita Collegiate. We played them when I was in high school as well. The size is really not different. It's just they have more of them. Mm-hmm. So instead of having one Austin, they'll have 3 or 4 Austins. Instead of having one Drake, they'll have 2 or 3 Drakes. So that's really the only difference between the higher A's, 3A, 2A, down to 1A. That's the only difference is just kids. The size is all the same because all these kids work hard in the weight room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Coach. We'll see you on the next episode.